Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Career Talks Podcast. Here's where we bring you actionable advice for your career and life. And today will be no different. You better get your pad, your recorder, whatever you need to gather this information. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But before we get started, this episode is sponsored by the Career Accelerator Planner. It is a planner designed for you, the corporate professional, for you to track your wins, your projects, and your value all in one place. So if you're a corporate professional and you're thinking about making a career transition or basically having those career conversations around merit increase, salary negotiations, promotions. You've tracked all your wins that you've done for that organization, and then you can replay those back to to your management, and this way you leave nothing off the table. So head on over to the careeracceleratorplanner.com and grab your a copy. So today, very excited that this young lady accepted the invitation. She has a wealth of information. Let me just get right to it. She is a LinkedIn business strategist, former LinkedIn employee, LinkedIn learning instructor, and the founder of the LinkedIn Academy, Miss Selena Young. How are you?
Hello, Orlando. Doing good. Thank you so much for inviting me to your amazing Career Talk podcast.
I appreciate you accepting on such short notice. It was a quick turnaround working with your team, super professional. So love it. And I thank you again. But for those folks who don't know who you are, right? You're definitely all about LinkedIn and
Yeah.
business entrepreneurship. Share with folks more about who Selena is.
Sure. So I love that you already share all my credential earlier. It seems like a pretty good resume, actually.
Everything
And
LinkedIn.
I
Yeah.
definitely need to check out your amazing planner. Case earlier, really sleek intro as well. Um, so a little bit about me. I'm the founder of the In Academy. We really help entrepreneurs, small business owners to build an impactful personal brand that help them win eyeballs, which is attention, clients, as well as trust on LinkedIn on this powerful platform.
Awesome. As you're coming in, Lorraine, hello,
Hello.
hello. Thanks for
Hello.
joining. As you're coming in, say hello to Selena. Have any questions? If you've seen the topic we're talking, she's going to share with us five, if not more. I'll push for a little more, see if I can extract a little bit more out of
Of
her.
course, always more for you.
Right, some information about LinkedIn that we just don't know. And I had Lorraine on as well. So all these phenomenal and Almira. So all these LinkedIn guru folks, but I'm looking to understand some of the predictions. What's going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? How do we prepare? How do we maximize it there? So if you want, you can, let's dive into your background a bit first. Share with folks, your experience through corporate America and making that transition.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a really long story, but long story short, COVID
Mhm.
hit and everything just changes my life
Mm,
completely. I'm in a long distance relationship with my family and my husband. And I realize the corporate success is amazing, but at the same time, it's not what I want to pursue anymore. And so I decided to quit my job and then fly across the world and then being with my family. And it's really the best decision ever. So I actually started my entrepreneurship journey out of necessity. And
mm,
I never thought that it would actually this month is our second anniversary for the company, and I never thought it's going to be a thing that would last. And that's how sort of like everything started. But I have a really strong background when it comes to B2B sales and marketing for around 15 years, and I work a lot with Fortune 1500 companies around how to
mm.
basically use LinkedIn, use different various social media platform to launch ads. So I'm more like in the pay advertising space. But
Okay.
now I realize that as you know, Orlando, you're like one of our subscriber. Like organic marketing is the way to go, really. Like I know there's a lot of folks out there maybe tuning in and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm in the advertising industry. What is it going to happen, right? But the advertising dollars is going to be more and more expensive. So the way how we could, and as well as I know for you, you give so much impact and value to your audience when it comes to career advice. They need to start building great personal branding no matter what as well. And that's the currency right now, the digital currency to move forward.
And so when you say the advertising dollars, you're speaking to the traditional format of advertisement
I
versus
would say
the
it's various because
okay.
obviously like it could go traditionally like TV's ads all
Hmm.
the way to like now social media advertising, but all these are going to be continuously expensive, and the format of it, it's also changing every single day, right? And I think video is going to be more expensive because of the attention that they can sort of like grab people's on. Like YouTube ads is going to be more expensive,
Hmm.
LinkedIn obviously video ads, because it's like cost per views, when it sort of like count the advertising dollars. So that's what I mean. Yeah,
Got it. So when it comes to the N Academy, like you said, I'm a subscriber and I read your letters. Great information.
thank
Great
you.
information. Share with folks who are just tuning in or catch the replay how you help businesses leverage the platform.
Yeah, so my parterre system and framework, it's actually three level. It's really simple. The very first one is personal branding. It's all
Hmm.
about optimizing your LinkedIn profile first. And I'm pretty sure, Orlando, you're like when you're helping folks with career or resume, that's like the foundation, right? Like
Hmm.
who they are, why, like the core of who they are as an individual, and then go from there. So similarly, the level one is all about like nailing your own messaging, your magnetic personal brand message. So that's level one. Level two is about content, because once all your sort of like messaging dialed in, it's time to basically put out content. And the power of content is really to increase and massively boost your visibility online and help to build your thought leadership forward. So that's like level two. And then level three, when these two are together, it's like a three-leg stool, is extremely powerful. But when you also pair it with social selling, which is the last level, it's unstoppable because you know how to build great relationship with your clients, you know how to nurture those relationship. And whoever that is tuning in right now, if you have a community or you are about to build a community, this is really the key when it comes to 2023, how you can dominate your market in this space.
Love it, love it, and especially on the content piece. And I love what you're about to share. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's transferable not just for business owners, but for individuals looking to build their brand. So
Absolutely.
the two are intertwined. So let's dive in. What are some of the predictions that we are not knowing and should know about 2023?
Yeah, I love to start by sharing a data because I think your audience would definitely love it, especially like we're all talk about like career talks, about leadership, about like philosophy, about mission, and forecast that the online learning space, it's going to continue to rocket with 350 billion by 2025 with a B, right? So whoever that is actually in the learning space, or you are, individuals looking into like learning and choosing which is like the career coach or like a career consultant to move forward with, this is going to be a big space for small business owners like us, right? So really, one of the things that we need to take a look at this space is going to be more noises, more competition. So how could you really integrate what you have right now to your marketing plan for 2023? And how do you stand out as a personal brand, right? Everybody talk about personal brand like it's like a thing that just thrown around.
Hmm.
But how can you make your personal brand stands out like the popular kid at school that get all the best treats, right? So this is what we're looking at, and that's riding on the data that I share here.
Love it. And so, what would be the first understanding the data? I'm your client. How do you coach me through? What's that step, that process to get me from here to where I need to be in my business or just personal brand?
Yeah, so it start back to level one, which
Hmm.
is the magnetic personal messaging. I always talk about the 6 why, right? And what you say, how you say it, and when you answer who is your ideal clients and how you offer, it's also can translate to individual as well, right? Like what's your mission in 3 to 5 years in this in your career, right? And why you're the perfect person for the candidate for the job, right? So this is the magnetic personal brand message that needed to start with. So that would be one of the things that I would start with. And the prediction I have is like whoever, like whether it's an individual, whether it's a professional who have a strong personal brand on LinkedIn will have a competitive edge. So from a business perspective, there's like over 65% of business decision makers on this platform, and 78% are B2B leads are coming from LinkedIn. So if you're in the B2B sales space, then you know, like, why spending in other platform, not LinkedIn, right? You have to build a strong personal brand here and nurture that relationship so to move forward. So that would be like the first thing I would do. And don't really use it as a like just a purely online resume. Like people don't want to like have the feature section seeing your CV anymore. Like traditionally they might work, right, 3 or 5 years ago, but not anymore. And I think I was chatting with another career consultant earlier this week. She was sharing with me this shocking data that I think 72% of open jobs is available on LinkedIn, that it's being filled through networking. So really building that
Wow.
trust, that personal brand online, especially in this powerful platform, is really the way to go.
Got it. So what do we say? Because I want to hone on that topic. There is, what do we say for folks who are kind of fearful of stepping out? Because I think to share your personal brand, it's not just have the optimized LinkedIn profile, but it's sharing content. It's being vocal. It's being seen, being visible. So what do we say to folks that are a little more introvert and just not adopting this mindset yet, but want
Yeah,
progression, right?
yeah, absolutely. I would actually start with your content specialties, like from the format perspective, because I think
Mhm.
a lot of people always got blocked out when it comes to like how can I do that, right? Like to your questions, I'm very introverted. I don't know whether I should be showing up online, face to camera video, not necessary. Like you can really channels and express yourself in the way that you feel most comfortable with, like whether it's through video, whether it's through article, whether it's like through text post. So I would actually say, going back to fundamentals, choosing a format that you're most comfortable with. And then from there, choose topics that obviously you're very experienced, you're super, super passionate about, and then go from there. And I would say it needs to be married with your passion and what you're good at. So the sweet spot is really in the middle. Your knowledge, your experience with your passion. Can you share a topic for next 3 months, six
Mm,
months, a year? If yes, then that would be the topic that would be your content pillars you can start with.
I love that. If you can basically share information, speak on it for 3 to 6 months to a year. Oh, that's really good. Um, how do we social sell effectively?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think I always talk about relationship selling because I truly a strong believer around that, because I think people, like especially in the coaching space, obviously I cannot speak to other space like when it comes to SaaS company, but I,
Mhm.
I would truly believe like coaching space, trust is our currency. When our clients trust us, it's really easy for them to take out their credit card hot and ready just to buy from you. And the way to do it is to continuously adding value and be top of mind and letting them know that you are the perfect solution for them, right? Other than any competitors that we just talk about, right? 350 billion by 2023. That's a lot of competition. And that's a
Mm.
lot of online entrepreneurs wanted to basically craft that space, whether it's like career coach, whether it's LinkedIn coach, whether it's like a marketing consultant. There's so much, but there's always space for people to be on top as long as you hone into back to your personal branding message, your why, right? Your why could never be the same with the other person. And
Mm.
that's how it helps to cut through the noises. And that's how you attract your potential clients. And that's how you can continuously building that relationship with them through your founder story, through your experience, through the way how you teach, the way how you coach.
So even with that big number, that 350 billion, I think, and again, I'm always going to say, correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, the main key thing is going to be consistency too,
Yeah.
quality of content, showing up with the consistency. Uh, like even the current stats are showing that what there's like less than 1% that are actively putting out content on LinkedIn today, and it's what not close to a billion users. So, um, do you see that number growing as far as active users? And I think that's based on posting once a month or once a week,
Yeah.
variation of what it is. Doesn't matter, like you said, whether it's video or just text form or whatever. But do you see the number growing of active participants putting out content?
Yeah, so I think the number right now is 5.4, but I agree. Like, I think
Oh, really?
we didn't never really disclose the active members. Obviously, I think not a lot of platform will do because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
like there's still a lot of like bots or like fake accounts, like just across social media is just normal. But I would say it's last time I checked, it's like 5.4%. To your point, it's like weekly consistently showing up, and that's going
Wow.
back to what I shared earlier with you, Orlando. It's the two things, right? You need to be super passionate about what you do, and you can consistently showing up. At the same time, the format that you feel most comfortable of sharing. So never to choose something that you're like, oh my gosh, like yeah, video is the future, but I feel so it's really challenging for me, but I'm just going to do it. And then you just get easily burned out. And at the same time, you hate what you're doing. And ultimately, you just decided not to do it anymore. And that's
Right.
how you, like, majority of the people that come to me say, I just got burned out. I just maybe choose a wrong format. I know, like, let's say video, it's like the way to go. They just choose that to do it, but without
Mhm.
really knowing the why. And that's why I'm coming in and say passion, knowledge, and the format.
So, based off your personal experience and putting out content, uh, which form works best for you? Part one, and two, is there a leading form of content that we should be, looking out for going into 2023?
Yeah, I love that questions a lot. To be honest, it has been changing quite a lot,
Hmm.
like individually. So I started with a lot of like graphics, sort of like graphic driven content, like
Hmm.
carousel, infographics, things like that. I mean, to be honest, I really loved it. But now that I realize the best that I could like the best format that resonate with my clients and that they love consuming from me is long form type of content like newsletter. I got like tons of great like when I talk about numbers, I talk about people that it's active and responding to my newsletter. So that it's like one way that I really love doing it. Another it's like short form video. And to your questions is I would say video is really the future as you see, like right,
Hmm.
the rise of TikTok, YouTube quickly just basically changed their algorithm and wanted to basically help to push the channels with subscriber with YouTube Shorts, and then Instagram, right? Instagram Reels. They're no longer a visual, image-driven social media anymore. It used to, right? So I would say video content it's the way to go. And you also see LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn video content when it comes to the LinkedIn learning, they have a series of very long form, but now they are actually pushing nano tips, which is like a
Hmm.
very short, um, less than 3 minute short video to teach your audience something. So that would be the future that, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone's know, but I think there would just be more video content out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you said that about YouTube because I've tested it. Like I haven't done any shorts on my YouTube page until two days ago. Posted a few, sort of 200 views, 100 views. Posted one in particular video, literally within 30 minutes, had like 1,200 views. I'm like, whoa,
Wow.
I'm like, just on shorts, and then the long form videos, right, are not performing as well. But I'm like, this is ridiculous. I guess our attention span is getting shorter, and so we just want sound bites, quick sound bites.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
when it,
we're shorter than a
Mhm.
goldfish
Yeah,
for attention span.
that's hilarious. Um, so when it comes to again, we're talking about the predictions. Are there any tools, any new features that you foresee coming, that you hear talking about in the, behind the closed doors of the privileged LinkedIn gurus like yourself, to for us to kind of look out for? You got chat, you know, they're talking about chat GPT and how that's gonna impact everything. But what are you seeing coming down the pike?
That's a perfect segue because we talked about YouTube earlier, and that's
Hmm.
like in 2023. That's my goal to create on that platform. And similarly, I share with you the three things like passion, experience, as well as like format that I feel very comfortable sharing with my audience. So I just started creating on YouTube just a week ago.
Mm.
And I'm also testing different things. And the very first videos that I made is actually the 9 game-changing LinkedIn feature to be checking out to help grow your business in 2023. So do check that out. It's like a really long, like 10-minute video, but I really dissect each individual one. But 3 that I want to highlight, I think that would be really interesting for your audience. One is LinkedIn introduced the scheduler for content, which is
Love it.
massive for this platform because I know, I mean, having been working for LinkedIn, I know how some of the algorithm works in the
Mm.
platform. They want people, I mean, not just LinkedIn, all social media too. They want their audience to stick around, right? If you can spend 24 hours or 12 hours on LinkedIn, great, LinkedIn will take it, right? But like with this scheduling function, that will massively change the way how long individual members will spend on this platform. So that is a really interesting and great tool to be leveraging, especially for busy small businesses like us, right? And coaches, obviously. So that's one. The other will be like creator mode. I'm pretty sure it's not like
Hmm.
a new news feature, but I do would say though they are adding a lot more granular data when it comes to that. Like the analytics tool is much more robust. There's a few things that it's really great for people want to do repurposing content. So you no
Hmm.
longer actually need to pay for a third party tool to check
True.
what's your impression looks like for the past 3 to 6 months or even up to I think a year that you can check your past content. So I think it's a really great tool to be watching out. I know they will continue improving um, on that feature. And writing on creator mode, it also instantly changed your connection button to follow button. I would say it's like a good and bad when for new folks that is actually tuning in and looking into like building a powerful personal brand on LinkedIn and wanted to switch creator mode. I would
Hmm.
say cool your horses before really doing that because I want you to post consistently weekly in order to fully leverage this creator mode function. Because when you switch that to a follower button, you're no longer growing a connection numbers for your LinkedIn profile, which is a downside for you as a brand,
Mm.
right? So, like, imagine it's like the closest friends you have, right? So, if you're not, you're just starting out, you have like less than 500 connection, then really starting off with that without switching on content creator mode. So, it's just a caveat on that.
So
And
you
mhm.
and so you're saying there's a timing in which you should switch it, or just hold off for right now, period, if you're lower than X number of contacts.
Yeah, I think if you just started out and less than 500 connection, to me, what I advise to my clients, even like no more than 2,000 connection, you should not switch on content creator mode because you're still basically in the space of building your LinkedIn profile. Because
Mm.
LinkedIn profile, it looks really easy, but not really because you have actually quite a lot of section you really need to fill up, right? Your about section, you need to update all your work experience, you need to request for recommendation. Like I think that whole project
Hmm.
takes majority of my clients or some of the folks around 3 to 4 weeks to fully ramped up, right? So I would say first focusing on that. And then once your LinkedIn profile, you're really happy, fully optimized, then you can start, posting content consistently. Then that's a good time to switch on content creator mode.
Got it. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So in your business, because I think I just signed up. Yeah, I just got your playbook right before we came on. So I'm definitely
Thank
excited to
you.
dive into that. And there are some immediate gems that I noticed. I'm like, oh, okay. Like the social selling, your
Yeah.
social, not social, is it social selling or what's the number?
Yeah, you're right. Social selling index. So
Index,
LinkedIn
yeah.
give you a number how well you're doing as a professional,
Hmm.
and give you a score to it. Yeah,
Yeah, I got a 73. I think I
that's
was like,
good. That's a
that
really
seems
good
low.
score.
See, that's a C
Can be
player.
higher.
Yeah.
Can be higher, but it's good. It's good.
Okay, so and I like that it lets you know where. It gives you ratings of where you should improve on. So I love that. So that's a
Exactly.
phenomenal tip on types of activity. Do you see this isn't and if Lorraine you're still on, I'd love to get your feedback too. Do you see LinkedIn ever doing something like a YouTube paid content creation platform, something like that? If
Mm.
that even makes sense, that question.
No, totally. I was literally talking with my team, I think on Monday during our weekly calls, and I was like, the main reason why I started to create on YouTube is because of their monetization system is
Mhm.
so well planned and well established. And I know LinkedIn had plans in place in doing that. I can't
Oh, really?
obviously like speak to that yet, but I know they have this called the Creator Accelerator program
Yep. Hmm.
that they launched, I think, a year ago,
Yep.
and they have been giving out around 25 million as a award, sort of like a contribution award to like individual creators in terms of that, but they are only limited to specific niches. Like for example, technology. One of my clients is in the tech and law space, like legal tech space, and he
Mm.
actually got in. And he also shared with me that it's not easy because it's not like you creating the content and LinkedIn will base on impression to reward you as as how much eyeballs you attract, right? But it's vice versa. I think they're still like figuring things out. But yes, I would say simply put, that would be a monetization system that I think they will infrastructure that they're looking into. But I know the third round for 2023 just started. So it would be a great time for any folks that is tuning in that is interested to go ahead and sort of like apply for the creator. Just put LinkedIn Creator Accelerator. That's the one.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Oh, thanks, Lorraine. Yep. She says, yep, she sees LI learning into monetization to entice
Yes.
creators to use the platform.
Yeah.
So that would probably draw, depending on the parameters, draw some folks away from YouTube. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
That'd be really interesting to see
Yeah.
the tier structure on that. So what are
And
some
Lori have
additional?
an amazing LinkedIn course, like LinkedIn Nano, as well as like LinkedIn
Hmm.
like long form courses that you guys should definitely check out. We're in the same community when it comes to the LinkedIn learners. And she's right, that is also being paid, but it's more like being invited. You can apply, but it's like a very different route than like the Creator Accelerator program that we talk about. But that's a really good uh, LinkedIn Learning series that everybody should check out.
Good. That's good to know. That's good to know. I would like to see a great collaboration between you and Lorraine. That would be awesome.
Yes, we'll love to. I think she just transitioned to be an entrepreneur
Yep.
herself, so I'm really
Yeah.
excited about it. I've been like seeing her content, and I know she's just going to be doing amazingly well, and she's just super experienced with what she's doing. So yeah, really excited for her.
That would be awesome. I think you guys can, you two ladies can put together a powerful program or something. Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
anyway, yeah.
We'll love
uh,
to.
So
And it's
with
a beautiful community, right,
it
Orlando? Like
is,
back to the point that we talk about. This like
yeah,
I know you, you know Lorraine, and then like we know other people as like a common mutual friends. And this is like just so beautiful if you have that really strong, close-knitted community. It's 10 times more powerful than, you know, a brand that is just dumping massive advertising dollars without knowing who is their audience. And that's my whole point about community building.
yeah. I would love to see something off-site, and we'll get back to your predictions where it's not driven by LinkedIn, but a bunch of us get together in a mastermind or something, and
Yeah.
we strategize different, just like how the YouTubers do, right? They'll go
Yes.
off-site. And all the creators on LinkedIn get together and try to.
We need to chat more because that's
Yeah,
my vision too.
yeah, awesome. Okay, we'll do. Let me stop talking.
No, 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 no. I
No, it's
was
good.
just wanna
I
have
love it.
that plug because I'm in Sam Oven's mastermind, and that's one of his sort of like prediction when it comes to
Okay.
like mastermind community centric, sort of community based sort of coaching style is the way to go. I think courses is great, but
Hmm.
like now I think people is looking for one extra element, right,
Yeah.
or a few extra elements to have that personal touch. Like COVID, it's a perfect example. People are still wanted the physicality when it comes to like
Yeah.
seeing people face to face, right? So that is what the future of mastermind he predict it is. I'm obviously not an expert when it comes to that space, but for sure that would be something that I think people is looking for.
Yeah, I saw some data around all. They was talking about all the different platforms. What I was really talking about podcasting and which platforms to do it on. But I think LinkedIn was, or this podcasting itself was something that was so untapped.
Yeah.
Trying to start a YouTube channel, billion, 3 billion plus, people trying to get out there and doing it versus a few 100 million. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see what collectively we can all get together and understand the algorithms and platforms more, and how to separate ourselves
Yeah.
from the masses. That'll be good. What are some additional predictions you're holding on to? Just
I think we mentioned the influencer or like the micro creators that would thrive on the platform. So I
hmm
won't like talk too much about that space, but you mentioned chat GBT, which I
hmm
want to doubt in a little bit more because like I think like a lot of like I'm pretty sure you're on LinkedIn as well. A lot of people are really scared, like operating in scarcity mode right now. It's like, oh my gosh, we're going to get replaced.
hmm
And it's actually, we got it all wrong. I really see this as a tool for us all to leverage because, yeah, it's an amazing tool. Yeah, AI, like machine learning, how we do things, and they will like slowly sort of like replace or like utilize what the Google search engine is doing, right?
hmm
And I think it would just help us to become a better content creator if you know how to master it quick right now. And I think to me personally, as a content creator, copywriting is one of the things that I love using ChatGPT with, like whether it's from idea perspective or really from sort of like a data perspective. I think it really helps me to pull out so much great and relevant data in like now in 2023.
hmm
But what I'm saying is it shouldn't be replacing your brain or personality. It can never be able to replace. And that's I think is a prediction that people will use it more. But also from a mindset perspective, we all need to understand it will never be a replacement tool for to us as human.
I think that's good to hear. So the LinkedIn user, sorry, I don't know your name. You can throw it in the next chat. Obsessed with chat. Got it. Got me most of my. Oh, okay. Recent interviews. So did you use it on your resume? Is that what you're saying? How it got you your recent interviews? So that'd be nice to know.
I think it's Amira. I hope I did not butcher
Oh, is
his
that
name.
okay?
Yeah.
You see it on your end?
Yeah, I'm trying to like. Usually when I do live, I will do phone with the real live, and then
Yeah,
laptop with you.
I have the phone right in front of me too. I'm trying to see. Okay, awesome. Well, appreciate that, Amir. So as we look at what's your strategy? Because I want to learn specifically from you and what you're doing with your academy and your customers.
Yeah.
Um, what's
So
your
from a
strategy
content perspective, or
from a content perspective, and how to best leverage the platform? We talked about quite a few things, but when you look at, okay, by the end of Q1, my goal is to execute on X more to get the return I'm looking for and help more customers.
yeah, I think it's tough to basically like share the full strategies, but one of the things that I see it will happen is the power of repurposing. I think
Mm,
for a majority of us that have already start creating last year or even like during the COVID season, like 2022, we have roughly around a year or even 2 years bank of content.
yeah.
And the way how I see things is it shouldn't be constantly creating new content anymore, but it's to basically streamline what is actually working really well, doubling down on that, the highest performing strategies. So into the sweetest fruit, which is like the warmest, hottest clients, what I
Hmm.
call the sweetest fruit. It's ready to ripe and ready to pay you and ready to basically work with you. And that's how I see it. And the way how the whole um, lead generation or like the LinkedIn business funnel to me works looks like we can really make it way shorter than how it is before. One example being, so previously I'm in a one-on-one coaching sort of like business model a year
Hmm.
ago, and I only assist executive. I still have like a few clients like that, and it's amazing. But that being said, I see that there's like a new trend of people wanted, like especially for business owner like myself, wanted to impact more, not
Hmm.
necessarily like to like make more buck, but really to impact more. And the way how to go about this is changing the format, right? And both free as well as pay. So from the free perspective, you need to be knowing how to distribute it quick. And that's going back to my repurposing point. If you can be really strong present building on LinkedIn and have a secondary channel, you're really, really strong in this space, right? And if you have this distribution content distribution channels system mapped out, you're good. It's really easy for you. So mine, it's actually really easy when I look at it, is
Hmm.
I have a long form content. It's either my newsletter or YouTube video, which I literally started. So I have to go and by sharing more key learnings with you, Orlando. Not necessarily an expert in that space. I'm learning by doing. So from long form content, I would chop it up to smaller content so I can post it in a daily basis. And that's how I see repurposing content looks like and the funnel looks like. It doesn't have to be short form content all the time and you post it once and then that's it. It should be the other way around.
Got it. Now, when you're saying other platforms, you're saying other social media platforms and things like that, and then you also reference more or less the analytics that will give us the data to see what content we're putting out there is the hottest content, so we can hone in on that and be more efficient with that. So
Yeah,
with that, not so much because that's interesting when you said not creating new content, just repurposing what we have. Um, can you go a little deeper? Because
of
maybe my,
course.
my mindset is just surface where it's like, okay,
No, no,
long
no,
form
don't be
video
Orlando.
clicks.
Like seriously, there's no like going deeper. It's perfect because I know it's like an area that I always talk about. Obviously, like
Good.
to me, like it's also helped me to understand more from your perspective as well. So do ask any questions or anyone that is tuning in to Orlando show, please feel free to ask question. I would say I think a lot of people are really scared of the word repurpose. They thought it's like reposting, but what I mean by is like let's say this topic, which I just shared, I choose the first topic of my YouTube channel to be the 9 latest game-changing LinkedIn feature for you to leverage in 2023. I
Mhm.
have done it multiple times in 2022, 2021, 2022, 2022. I think I meant, sorry, 2020. Like these is this exact same topic, but the content itself, maybe the meat itself is different
Mhm.
because obviously the platform is going to continue grow and they have like new feature. That to me is a repurposing concept, right? But you doesn't need to necessarily create new stuff to talk about. Chat GBT is a perfect example as well as an AI tool, and that could be an umbrella that we can talk about content creation. We can talk about copywriting. We can talk about the way how it helps to like grammar check, or like the way how to
Mhm.
basically make it hook our audience even more to like help you to tweet and edit your copy better. So that's the way how I see when it comes to like sort of content repurposing. You don't necessarily need to create new stuff, but hone into within that random topic and using that most highly performed topics and make small tweak to sort of like repurpose that pieces of content for later days.
What new feature you would like to see if they came to you and said, "Hey, Selena, give us your top three. We can implement it. If it makes sense." What suggestion would you give LinkedIn to support creators on the
Oh my
platform?
goodness. I love that question so much. And I cannot even start. There's just so much. Oh, because there's so much like box they can like also fix as well. But obviously things that I see, but not necessarily everyone. Um,
And
I
and
would
if you're
say,
watching, give me your notes. Share with us too. What would you think
yeah.
LinkedIn should change? But go ahead.
The number one is monetization for sure. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's a thing that a lot of people have been talking about forever. And the
Mhm.
funny thing is, they LinkedIn really make a lot of money from the like the advertising
Mhm.
space, right? Like it's like when you stroll through a news feed, every 4 posts there's one sponsored post, and that's what the company is paying them for, and their CPC is extremely expensive. We're talking about around maybe $20 to $30 US dollars per click, and
Mm.
around $100 or $200 per lead. Obviously, we're talking about different product and the sales cycle plus the sales volume, because it's like way more expensive than like a B2C ads. But going back to that, I would say a really good monetization infrastructure that it's great for us. Next is that it's not necessarily a feature, but I wanted LinkedIn to figure out a way how to help their audience to build a really well-oiled funnel or machine, so that they won't really necessarily penalizing us to add external links. So
Mm.
I know
Yeah.
they started to do it, which is like you can add one link on top of your LinkedIn profile, but to me is not enough. Like there's so
No.
much more. Like look at YouTube. YouTube is a perfect example. You can add as much links you want, right? Your freebies, your playbook, your like all the stuff, your
Yep.
podcast, but you won't get penalized, and that's amazing. And that's how I see LinkedIn could really like do that with this, because they have such a unique audience, right? And like be more open to add new logos or tab to drive people to other spaces as well, because it's like a two-way street. When
Mhm.
LinkedIn allowed people to do that, they would get more new user as well if they love certain content creator. So I think that's one of the feature. The other feature that I really hope to see is what we're doing, LinkedIn Live or audio and stuff like that. It needs to be way easier. Shouldn't be like a third party tool. Obviously,
Right.
third party tool is amazing. You can download and do a lot of stuff. You can also schedule it. You can do recording play, but it should be easy. It should be a very easy to use platform that I can, oh, I want to stream with Orlando to like tomorrow
Yeah.
or
To
like
be all in
15
one.
minutes from now. Let's do it, right? It
Yep.
needs to be accessible for your audience. So I would say these three just on top of my mind. I think it would be great to have.
I love that. I love, yeah. I think that would be now. Here's the devil advocate's question to that. Let's say those things become implemented, right? Let's
Yeah.
hypothetical. Does it change the nature of the platform? Does it now become a YouTube, um, in essence, or does it still hold its foundation of networking across the world?
To be honest with you, I don't know, but I love the way how the audience mindset and the way how we express ourselves changes over the last 2 years on this platform. I think
Hmm.
previously no one is thinking about creating content, even of thinking about posting on LinkedIn because they're scared that their employer is going to take a look of it, or the company is going to send them a cease and desist and say that please don't do that, right?
Hmm.
That it's like not representing our company the way how we want it to. So I like the direction they're going. To be honest, I don't know, but I also want more people knowing the power of this platform because I truly think the people on this platform, it's really highly educated. They are like, I think I had that data in my mind earlier. 69% of the user on this platform is earning more than 75K US dollars annually. So
Hmm.
if you want to, like, as a coaches or a consultant, if you want to tap into the high net worth, not high net worth, but people that is willing to pay for coaching services, want to betterment, like personal development. This is like the perfect platform, not
Yeah.
TikTok, not Instagram, right? Where you dance in front of the video. Like, nothing bad about that, but it's like it's really more the way how we position ourselves. It's as a
Hmm.
professional is way more better on this platform. That's I see. So I want more people come on in and see how powerful of this platform, but also how positive the people are on this platform. Like, you
Yep.
rarely see trolls. Like, I would say rarely because I do, however, see trolls here and there. But if you go to Twitter, if you even like talk about Reddit, it's mad right there. Like, the way how people talk to each other. I was just like,
Yeah.
are we living in this world right now? Start calling people, talking about mother, brother, father right now to each
Social
other,
media
right?
bullies.
Exactly. And to me, LinkedIn doesn't come across that way. It's
No.
always very positive. And that's how I want it to be. But to your question, I don't know.
To your earlier point, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but the CEO of Cisco, the Cisco organization, she made a post stating she's going to train all whatever 30,000 of her employees to be LinkedIn influencers,
Wow.
to track talent. So I was like, what? And so I'm like, anyone want to come on the podcast and talk about that? Because that goes to the article that I was exposed to from Fanny Dunnigan. I'm not sure if you know who Fanny is. She got an art. She's seen an article from the editor in chief of his Dan Roth or Dan. I forgot his full
And
name.
Rob, yeah,
Yep.
the editor
Um,
in chief, yeah, of
Talking
LinkedIn.
about the creator employee,
Yeah,
that exact thing. Let employees create content on the profile to
yeah.
draw more attention. It can potentially lift the company brand as well. So when I seen that, she was like, she said, literally, I'm turning all 30,000, I'm training all 30,000 employees to be LinkedIn influencers. I was like, holy cow, that's a
Yeah,
massive switch in thought process. So
yeah.
it'd be good to see if other companies, get on board with that, and that fearful, because there's got to be someone within organizations, and it's not always got to be a marketing person. For me, I'm like talent acquisition should be at the forefront of that, for
100%.
talent attraction. So that was a huge thing. I was like, whoa, that's phenomenal. So let's see if that what that looks like if other companies adopt that. Um,
I love
what
that.
time is running by? Ooh. What are some nuggets, some additional nuggets that you can share with us that we can implement, like the moment we close this broadcast and go
Yeah,
straight to our profile, or think of a
yeah.
new unique strategy to create content?
Absolutely. I would say for whoever that just tuning in, like after listening to me and Orlando saying like, LinkedIn is the way to go build a powerful personal brand. You want to get started today, go ahead to our company, the inacademy.com, download the checklist because this is like the most latest checklist of things that you need to do to sort of like level up your LinkedIn game right there. So I would say get started. Guy is over there. There's like 13 steps you need to do to fill up your LinkedIn profile. We also teach you some of the tips how to do it. So I would say there. Um, if folks that is tuning in, it's a little bit more advanced. You're like, I'm very happy with my LinkedIn profile. I know exactly my magnetic personal brand messaging is who I'm talking to, why I'm here. Then content is the way to go. And I will go back to what I shared earlier. Hone into your content specialties. I think there's a lot of people or my clients saying this is really my aha moment when even listening to you as a marketers, I experienced marketers that I should hone into my content format. So I would say start with that, but still be open mind when it comes to trying different formats for your audiences as well. Because you don't know. Sometimes your audience might be digesting pieces of content very different from how you see it as well. Like for instance, I thought my audience loved podcasts, and I did, create a podcast for them previously. And then little did I know they prefer videos, right? So by, really understanding your audience even more, that's like the way to go. I think Orlando also mentioned about social selling index score. It's a perfect way to gauge how well you're doing on the platform. They give you 4 different pillars and two big score. One, it's like a bit against all the connection you have, which is like the network SSI. So they will tell you the percentage, how well you're doing. So take a look at that. The other is your industry SSI. So I'm in the educational space or consulting space. Then I will bid against wherever that is in the consulting space with that social selling index score. And they give you 4 pillars. And I could like guarantee you the first and the last pillars, you're going to have the highest score no matter what.
Yep.
The second pillar is going to be lower. So let's talk about those two because that's what people is concerned about and how you can increase your score quickly. One is to leverage LinkedIn search bar to do search function. That's one of the sort of like tips quick to you. The other is actually going to your private to you analytics dashboard. And there's like 3 data that LinkedIn give it to you. Tap onto the last one. It's what I call your LinkedIn SEO number. So that SEO number is how people see you or your profile get popped up from other places, right? Even on Google, even on other places as well. And that would be the number. But when you click on it, LinkedIn actually gives you a few data, but scroll all the way to the bottom and they will give you the keyword that you win as an individual. So if you take a look at those keywords, is the keyword that you love to win. So let's say use me as an example. I'm a LinkedIn consultant and an entrepreneur. I'm a CEO. I'm a founder. These are the words that I want to win, let's say. Coach, the word, or business coach, because I also teach people how to I mainly primarily teach people how to use LinkedIn for business. Then if all these keywords are what I aim for and win at, then you're doing a good job. But if it's not, then which means you need to quickly change your headline, your about section, as well as your work experience section, and drizzle it with the keyword that you wanted to win.
And where can we find that data?
Yeah, so right underneath your LinkedIn profile,
We see analytics.
and then there's like right underneath your sort of like followers and connection, there's one called private to you. There's like a little I icon, analytics, 3 tabs.
Okay, so you're talking
That's
about where it
like
says
3 tabs.
Yep.
Can you see? And the last one, sorry, where's my phone?
Okay, yeah.
And then once you click that, scroll all the way down,
Yep.
keyword you work down. So I'm business strategist, CEO, coach, specialist. Is exactly the keyword that I wanted to be um, ranked, and also instructor, because I do like LinkedIn training for companies. So this is like perfect. Makes sense?
Ah,
Yeah. You know your number. So for instance, like from January 10th and to January 17, like give you 7 days, I have 677 people sort of like I got appear in their
the
feeds
search. Yep.
and profile. Yeah.
Okay. It's funny because mine's come up with business strategist. I don't think I have that anywhere in my profile, but recruiter, obviously, then executive director,
That's good.
founder, and salesperson. That's interesting.
Yeah. So which means like recruiter, I imagine it's what you
That's
do.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Yeah, that word that you win. Then if business strategist is not the way to go, then which means there are certain things you need to like basically update it. Yeah,
Yeah,
on LinkedIn.
they need to have something for podcast or whatever live
I
stream,
know
something in their
they
category.
introduced, yeah, they introduced a LinkedIn podcast network.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, I think Orlando, you should definitely apply, especially you're talking about. I know they're always and I looked out for great like career podcasts. And I also think that they would get featured on some of the LinkedIn pages as well. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah, I wish there was a report too that how many live stream users are there, what's the activity level, just to compare and see like, oh, okay, got it. I would love to see that kind of algorithm and that data a little deeper. So, well, we are top of the hour, so phenomenal information. We could have kept going, but I want to be respectful of your time, Selena. I know you got clients to get to and support. Uh, Share with us and the folks where they can find you, connect with you, and consume your information.
Absolutely. LinkedIn, of course.
Boom.
You're tuning in. Just check out Selena Young. It's Yeung. That's my last name. And connected with me. And if you're tuning in, loving this podcast, please go ahead and leave a review to Orlando Career Talks podcast. I'm pretty sure. I hope you have tons of value to today's episode. But if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, would love to be friends with you. And also, as I mentioned, I just started creating on YouTube and would love to receive your support. And please go ahead and subscribe and let me know if you have a particular topic you want me to talk about. I would definitely prioritize it. Yeah,
Uh,
and download our freebies.
Absolutely. So, is the YouTube channel Selena Young or the N Academy?
I want to actually claim Selena Yang.
Okay.
Long story short, I realized 8 years ago I created a YouTube channel called Selena Yang, and then I tried to like change the name 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and then I try to claim it back with the channels I have right now. I cannot claim it back, so it's really strange. So if there's like any YouTube expert here, let me know how I can like get back my name, but it will be my company name for now, the In Academy. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Again, thank you so much, Selena. Last question. What is your daily kind of motivational mantra? What gets you up going every day?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, for this season, I would say progress over perfection. That's
Mm,
my
love it.
mantra for now. Um,
Love it.
Progress over perfection. Thank
Well, there it is, folks. So we're going to close it out right there.
you.
Hold on one second, Selena, so I can talk to you briefly because I know you got to go. But
Yeah.
again, appreciate your expertise and your willingness to share. So I look forward to having you back on later in the year for some new tips, techniques, and to see the growth of your business. But we'll see you next time, folks. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for having me, Orlando. I have a great time.